Jacksonville Jaguars fans, welcome in to Duval Daily presented by GenJag.com. I'm Jordan DeLugo. Thanks so much for being here. Saturday, April 26th, the Jacksonville Jaguars have made their first two selections of Day 3 of the 2025 NFL Draft. We're here to talk about it. Jaguars draft coverage throughout the rest of the day. Fired up to get into it. So the Jaguars, they had picks 104 and 107 thanks to the trade with the Cleveland Browns in the first round to trade up, get Travis Hunter. The Jaguars and Browns swapped fourth round picks. The Jaguars already held the 107th pick. They picked up the 104th pick and gave up the 126th pick. So they had 104 and 107, the second pick of the fourth round and the fifth pick of the fourth round. So the Jaguars were getting after it early on Day 3 of the NFL Draft. And they took Bashal Tuten, running back out of Virginia Tech, with the 104th pick, and then they took Jack Kaiser, linebacker out of Notre Dame, with the 107th pick. So Bashal Tuten, somebody who we've talked about quite a bit on the channel. I've actually mocked to the Jaguars before during one of our many mock drafts here on the channel. Getting to know this guy a little bit. Transferred to Virginia Tech a couple years ago. 5'9", weighed in at 206 pounds at the combine. I think he played a little bit heavier than that, around 210, but the bottom line is his combination of strength combined with his speed, which is remarkable speed and explosiveness. 4.32 40-yard dash, 1.49 split. 1.49 split is like the same as Matthew Golden, right? 40.5-inch vertical jump, that explosiveness, the 10-10 broad, the 4.41 20-yard shuttle. Bashal Tuten is an unbelievably explosive runner. And he's not one of these speed backs that doesn't have any contact balance, that doesn't have any physicality, ability to break tackles. That's not what you're talking about with a Bashal Tuten here. This is a guy that can fight for extra yards. And the one area that really pops up that is slightly worrisome about his projection to the next level is sometimes when he's fighting for extra yards, you see the ball pop out. A lot of fumbles the last couple years, unfortunately, for Bashal Tuten. It was funny. Prior to his transfer, he didn't fumble the ball at all. Got to Virginia Tech, took a lot of carries for them, was very productive for them at Virginia Tech. The only issue, again, that pops up here and there for him is the fumbling issue. And quite frankly, that's very coachable. You've seen a lot of backs have issues with fumbling, whether it be in college or at some point in their NFL career, and you can correct it, right? It's a technique thing. It's a focus thing. And so I think that if that's the biggest issue that you have with someone, that's something you can work on, right? It's not like you have some physical trait that you can't overcome. When it comes to the physical traits, Bashal Tuten is really exciting. And in my opinion, I had a third-round grade on him. Right, I thought he could have been a day 2 pick. He ended up being a fourth round pick for the Jaguars. So this is pretty good value. And just talking about the fit with the football team, I mean, he'll have all sorts of opportunities to get the ball in space, I think, early on with the Jaguars. And then Travis Etienne going into the final year of his rookie deal. Bashal Tuten kind of gives you a runway to the next phase after the 2026 season. If you decide not to bring Travis Etienne back, you have Tank Bigsby and Bashal Tuten, who complement each other. Bigsby is a little bit of a bigger back, no pun intended there, that has a lot more physicality to his game, but both of those guys have to work on ball security, and that's going to be up to the coaching and up to the players to make sure that that does not become an issue in 2025 and beyond. So I think Bashal Tuten, a very good value for the Jacksonville Jaguars in the fourth round. And then Jack Kaiser is an interesting pick because I think you look at Jack Kaiser and obviously a guy who played a ton of football at Notre Dame, and actually ended up testing pretty well at his pro day. And you pull up his RAS, he ended up being 6'1.5", 231 pounds. He did 20 bench press reps, vertical jump of 34.5 inches, broad jump, average. Vertical is pretty good. The 40-yard dash, though, was impressive. 4.62 40-yard dash. The best part of his testing is his agilities, right? The 4.2 short shuttle and the 3-cone of 6.8. Those are both elite numbers. I think you see the feel for coverage a little bit, but people kind of talked about his physical limitations. It doesn't seem like he's all that limited based on his testing. He was an elite tackler at Notre Dame. So you're now talking about two of the defensive guys that the Jaguars have drafted in the last few picks that they've taken. Obviously, they took Caleb Ransaw out of Tulane, who is an elite tackler. Jack Kaiser is an elite tackler. They talked about Ransaw also being able to contribute on special teams. Guys that don't miss tackles, they're able and can run, make plays on special teams. So I think Jack Kaiser falls into that category as well. And Jack Kaiser has a ton of special teams experience. He can be one of those, as they say, core four special teams players, can play on every phase of special teams, has done it at Notre Dame at a very high level, has been a leader at Notre Dame, a part of a very good football program, and a leader at a very, very good football program. To me, when you look at Jack Kaiser and his fit with the Jaguars, Caleb Johnson's not there anymore, and he was their kind of special teams ace linebacker. So Jack Kaiser immediately fills that role. And look, that is a valuable role. On day 3, you're taking guys that are going to contribute on special teams, and Jack Kaiser is absolutely going to do that. And now when you look at what he can do for the Jaguars defense, he's not going to be expected to come in and start right away, or maybe ever, right? But he will be able to continue to develop his skill as a linebacker while he makes this football team better as a special teams player. And maybe down the road, when Foye Oluokun maybe ages out or the contract is up or whatever, maybe you've got questions beyond Foye Oluokun with Devin Lloyd. What are they going to do with his contract? Chad Muma going into the final year of his rookie deal. Ventrell Miller obviously still there for the next couple years if the Jaguars decide to keep him around. But he gives you that special teams ace. He gives you an option at linebacker moving forward, and a solid option. Again, somebody who does not miss tackles, who diagnoses well. I think that you see his instincts in coverage. You see the lateral agility in the testing. There's something there to work with Jack Kaiser, and I guarantee you they're going to talk about the intangibles with both of these guys. They're not drafting anyone that they don't believe is intangibly rich, which means you're mentally tough. You're going to be exactly who you are in this environment that the Jaguars are trying to create, and by being yourself, you're going to elevate the ecosystem. That's what James Gladstone is going to say about these guys from a personality standpoint. Again, on the field, Bashal Tuten, as fast and explosive as they get in the NFL at the running back position. The one thing you really want to work on with him is the ball security. And then Jack Kaiser, you're getting an elite special teams player who can play everywhere on special teams for you, and that is extremely valuable. And you've actually heard Liam Cohen talk quite a bit, like, what's the biggest adjustment from going offensive coordinator to head coach? And he's talked several times about how you have to be cognizant and aware and thinking about how guys are contributing on special teams. That's not something he had to really worry about before. It is something he has to worry about now as the Jacksonville Jaguars head coach, and Jack Kaiser is going to be a big-time special teams player. I wouldn't be surprised if Bashal Tuten competes as well to potentially be a returner for the Jaguars and maybe contribute on some other special teams areas. So the Jaguars, in my opinion, they got two guys that they're going to be very excited about here in the 4th round. We will continue to cover the draft moving forward, and later on today, or either later today, probably actually tomorrow morning, we'll provide the full draft grades for the Jaguars and the draft grades for day 3 of the draft. I'll tell y'all right now, a little sneak peek. I'm going to be very, very high on the Bashal Tuten pick and probably going to feel okay about the Jack Kaiser pick. I think there might have been players that maybe project more as starters at the next level, but the bottom line is special teams helps you win games, and on day 3, if you're able to get really good special teams players, that's going to help you win. So that's what the Jaguars are going to feel good about. So we'll talk about the grades later on, but for now, the Jaguars have added Bashal Tuten at 104, the running back out of Virginia Tech, speedster, and the linebacker Jack Kaiser out of Notre Dame at 107, who's immediately going to contribute on all special teams phases. Thank you all so much for tuning in. If you enjoy the content, please like and subscribe. Keep it locked here on Duval Daily on Gen Jag for all the Jaguars draft coverage. Y'all have a good one.